Good morning. It's been a few days. I know I'm getting quite crap at this. So I think the last time I made a video was Sunday. So obviously today being, what are we on today, Thursday. I don't think I quite realised how much of a challenge Christmas would be. Yeah, not only is it emotionally challenging, but obviously there's just a shitload to do. So I've been quite busy, and if I'm honest with you, I've not had the mental capacity, the emotional capacity to do very much over the last few days. Yeah, it's been a tough few days, and just to boot, I think I'm coming down with a cold that all the kids have had. Come on! But it's a lovely morning, so I've kind of got to get out. It's my one opportunity to kind of raise my spirits, really. Now wait a minute, there's a guy blowing leaves, so I'll just pause it and come back to you in a sec. There's a guy blowing leaves in the middle of a woodland area in a park. I think he's got his work cut out, to be honest with you. Where was he up to? Yeah, it's been a tough week. So yeah, the last time I spoke to you I think was Sunday, and that's when the tree was arriving. Well, it did arrive, and and that was a bigger challenge than I thought it would be. Emma, Luke and all their gang came round, which was really, because I couldn't have done it on my own, to be honest with you. But they all came round, and we got a takeaway and all that kind of stuff, and then we got the tree up. The tree got delivered at the same time as they arrived, actually, and then we decorated it, and it really kind of hit home. The person missing there massively, more than I thought it would do. The kids seem fine, although Emma did say to me later on that she thought they were kind of masking it, but the kids seemed fine at the time. And then once once they'd gone and everything had settled down, I got them off to bed, and then Charlotte came down just really upset. And I was upset. Me and Emma had a bit of a tearful moment, I suppose, at one point, where we were just like, it kind of hit us. But, once they'd gone to bed, I just kind of collapsed on the sofa and just thought, oh, for fuck's sake, this is going to be absolutely horrendous. And then a few minutes later, Charlotte came down. And she was really upset, and you could just see, I didn't even need to ask. I mean, it was really obvious why she was upset. So we just sat there, and I give her a hug for a good while, and then sent her off to bed, and kind of hoped that would be the be the end of it. Right, just bear with me a second, I'll be back in 1 second. Just need to, Maggie's just had a poo. Back. Yeah, what was it up to? Yeah, so I was hoping that was the end of it anyway. No, morning came around, and Isabel was pretty upset, and Charlotte was inconsolable, really. She wears Jenny's dressing gown, and a lot of the time, and she just refused to take it off. She said, I just want to be with Mummy. And what she meant by that is wearing a dressing gown. and just kept saying, I miss her, I want to be with mummy, which, you know, is heartbreaking. So they both had them on off school. Worryingly, not a thing from Thomas. Still not a thing from Thomas. That's really, I mean, at least the others are starting to kind of confront the feelings, which is heartbreaking but healthy. Whereas Thomas, I've not seen one flicker of emotion from him. We went to Once Upon a Smile. That was on Tuesday. To have a look round, basically, and it's a lovely place, really is. I thought it was more of a kind of, the kids would be with other kids, and then the counsellors would be kind of on call type thing and take them away one at a time, you know what I mean? But I don't know why I had that envisaged in my head, but no, it is one-on-one. They just go into one of the rooms and they do baking, or they do table tennis or pool or whatever, and build Lego and all these. So it's activity-based counselling, effectively. And then after a few sessions, then they arrange to bring all the kids together for like a movie night or something like that. I'm going to take them around. Come on. So it's really good. Anyway, I know that Isabel's phobia is one-on-one counselling. She hates that. You know, she hates the pressure of sitting there and kind of opening up to somebody. I know Charlotte does one-on-one counselling at school, and it seems to be, I think, going quite well. Probably the reason why she's kind of opened up a little bit, I don't know. But yeah, so Once Upon a Smile. Go on, Meg. So Once Upon a Smile. So we kind of came away, and the decision was kind of put in their hands to say, you know, do you want to do it? Which is good. So anyway, Isabel was the first one. She said, I'm not sure about Once Upon a Smile. And I was like, oh, okay then. She says, it is one-to-one. I said, I know. And she said, but, do you know what, I'll give it a try. So I was like, oh, well, that's good. Charlotte just said, yeah, I'll do it, which was unexpected but good. Thomas didn't say a word. I eventually broached it with him last night as I was taking him to cadets. And I just said, what do you think about Once Upon a Smile, mate? And he said, I probably won't go. It's one-on-one counselling, it's not my thing. And anyway, we had a bit of a chat about it, and I was like, mate, it's completely up to you, but it's not going to do you any harm to, you know, just go and see what it's like. And if after the first couple of sessions, you're like, you're adamant that it's not for you, then that's fine. You know, but you won't know until you actually go and try it. That was my argument to him. But ultimately, it's your decision anyway. He had a bit of a think about it. I said, you do get the morning off school. Well, that tipped it. So yeah, all three have signed up to it, which is good. Positive thing. Whether it'll endure, I don't know, but it's, you know, at least it's a positive step in that direction. But yeah, outside of that, this week has been massively challenging. I didn't realise Christmas would be this difficult, if I'm being really honest with you. It's just turned out to be a huge challenge. Just having the Christmas tree up, the decorations up, is like an ever-present reminder of the person who's missing, because Jem was never the type of person who did things by half, especially when it came to like decorations and stuff like that. She, you know, every single one of those decorations, every bauble on the tree, every little decoration was bought with intent. You know, it wasn't just, I will just get a load of baubles. every bauble was bought independently, every decoration was bought independently, gathered over years. They're a reflection of her. So having them up is a real, close, reminder all the time now. And I think the kids realise that as well. So that's really difficult. And then the whole concept of Christmas, it just magnifies everything. I don't know if you find this, but everybody, it's the time of year where everybody is happy, and if they're not happy, then they're forced to be happy. Well, that's a complete, opposites to what we feel like. You know what I mean? So it amplifies that feeling of sadness. When you're sad and somebody really happy stands next to you, then it just kind of amplifies how sad you are, and the whole world is like that at the moment. Every tradition, has that significant person who created that tradition missing. Everything you do, every happy family you see going fucking seeing Father Christmas. Father Christmas, by the way, never Santa, always Father Christmas. That was one of Jenny's big bugbears, the Americanization of the English language. But everything about Christmas is just putting into sharp focus. That person not sitting at the dinner table, just everything points towards it. So it's hugely close at the moment. I feel her loss more than ever. Yesterday I went to the bereavement group Christmas dinner thing, which I said I'd go to, and I thought it'd be a good idea, and I got there, and all I could think was, how the hell am I at a bereavement group Christmas dinner? I shouldn't even know this group exists. Objectively it was nice, but again, it was poignant in recognising that I'm there in the first place. So everything is fucking hard. And then I've got the whole dilemma of those fucking little elves. Elf on the fucking Shelf. I'm sorry, but whoever invented them, I want to stab them in the eyes with sharp forks. So here's the problem with Elf on a Shelf. We did that, and Jenny, like everything about Christmas, just took it on and loved it, and made it something special. She would take pieces of paper and she would stain them so they looked old with tea bags, I think it was, which I've now since figured out. And she'd write letters to the kids from the elves. Normally, if you don't tidy your room, you don't get any presents. But you get my meaning. Lace. But yeah, she'd write these letters, and obviously Thomas and Isabel have kind of wised up to this. They know what's going on. They know that Father Christmas isn't real. But Charlotte is still clinging on to that. Probably a security blanket, if I'm being honest, which is fine. But the thing is now she's asking about the elves, when the elves come, because I think she's looking at the elves as that. Come here, Lacey. I think she's looking at the elves for some kind of comfort, and this is really difficult now, because if I don't do it, then, you know, I've removed that comfort away. Will she think she's being punished? Will she think, I don't know. But equally, if I do it and I don't get it right, the handwriting, you know, will she notice? Will it shatter the illusion? And to be honest with you, I just can't be fucked doing that. I mean, I will obviously, but if I have to. But you see what I mean? It's, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. One sec. I think, yeah, Lacey's having a poo. What was it up to? Elf on the Shelf. Yeah, absolute pain in the arse. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. I'm going to find a way of doing it. Lou's been, Lou's been quite helpful coming up with solutions, so I might take one of them and see what I can kind of get done. But just, and everybody keeps saying, oh, you done all your Christmas shopping, are you ready for Christmas? No, my bollocks ready for Christmas. Like, the kids are abject refusing to tell me what they want for Christmas. I've got, a couple of presents bought, just, it's going to be crap. This is my worry, is that, you know, when Jenny was here, we'd come down on Christmas Day, the kids would be super excited. There'd be, you know, each one would have half a dozen presents under the tree. You know, the tree was stacked underneath. And this year, it's going to look like some, like, fucking robbers been in and nicked them all. I just can't get anything out of them. I can't. And they're at that age where they're almost impossible to buy for. Oh, it's just shaping up to be an absolute fucking nightmare. So, yeah, Christmas, absolute shitter. 14 days, that's it. That's all I've got to endure. And then, not even going to take the Christmas tree down, I might just set it on fire. Just trick by trick, shove it in the log burner. I don't know. It just, yeah. 14 days. Right. Anyway, dogs have had a run now. I'm going to go back, get on with the multitude of tasks for the rest of the day. Nothing ever stops. Right. I will speak to you, well, I'd say I'd speak to you tomorrow, but hey, my track record at the moment is pretty dismal. So I apologise for that. But if it's another nice day tomorrow, I will try and get out. Okay, right. Hope you're all okay. Take care. Speak soon. Bye.